10-game winning streak. Trying to win the Big 12 title outright, but the Cowboys already up 11 here when James Anderson starts to go off. The lay-in right there gives State the 13-point lead. Getting it done on the defensive end as well. Cole Aldrich, you have just been OB'd by Obi Munello. That starts the transition. Anderson spotting up, and that is his spot. Kansas hadn't trailed by more than 11 all season. Cowboys up 16 here. Anderson with 15 in the first half. The lead is 17 here when Anderson finds Marshall Moses, who parks the red rim. State led by 16 at the break. Largest halftime deficit for Kansas all year. Second half, more of the same. Anderson around the screen, making it happen. Cowboys up 19. State 10 of 19 from the land of trade. They also scored inside. Anderson just scored everywhere because he was doing his thing. They're doing it well. Cowboys shooting 60% from the field. Shots like this help Matt Pilgrim. Oh, he helped that percentage. 8 of 8 from the field. Pilgrim had 18 points, and then more from Munello to Anderson. Anderson with 27. Oklahoma State wins at 85-77. Storm the court. Oklahoma State celebrating its first win over a #1 ranked team since 1989.
Bruce Pearl revving up the Vol student section. Now Tennessee opened up Thompson Bowling Arena to fans Friday night for Camp Pearl. Fans had a chance to meet players and sleep over in the concourses. Pretty cool. And they were rewarded. Second half in this one, Tennessee up 16. Kentucky's half-court defense breaking down. Scotty Hobson shooting the three. Brian Williams on the near side, and Eric Bledsoe late to box out. Williams gets the board, kicks it to Cameron Tatum for the wide-open look. Vols with their largest lead at 19, and then a guy named John Wall took over. Driving coast to coast, converts the scoop shot and one. Wildcats within 12, then Wong. Continued to play aggressive. Down the lane, how about 19 points for him? More from Wall. The deficit down to 4. Under 3 minutes to go. Tennessee still up 4. Bobby Mays jumper, short. The ball saved, and Wall leading the break, and he's going to find the big man, DeMarcus Cousins. 15 and 14 for Cousins. Wildcats within 2. Next possession, Wall. Drive, drawing 2. Cousins wide open. Goodbye, 19-point lead. We're tied at 65. Next possession, Hobson driving. Finding J.P. Prince, the reverse. Prince scored 6 of his 20 points in the final 90 seconds. How about that for leadership? The ball's up by 2. Hobson left wide open. Big mistake. 15 points for him. Tennessee scores the final 9 points in this one. The shocker, 74-65 Vols.
In front of a record-setting crowd, Syracuse can clinch a share of the Big East title with a win. Nova would move into a tie for first with a win in front of the largest on-campus crowd in college basketball history. 34,616 to see a basketball game. Scoop Jardine putting on the show. Jardine, who had 14 points combined this last 3 games, had 16 on this night. Jardine also passing the rock. Here's going to find Chris Joseph for the rim rocker. Syracuse up by 1, up by 6 here. Jardine is about to shoot the J. Shoot it. Syracuse up 10 at the break, into the half on a 26 run. Bob Knight on why the Syracuse fast break is so successful.
The kid rebounds the ball coming to his left shoulder. There's an outlet right there that all he's got to do is bring it down and throw it. And that's why they're getting such a good start on the break, because of how well those perimeter players position themselves for the outlet pass.
Second half, Syracuse making it happen, and Jardine's got a friend. Arinze Anawaku. Yes, sir. Oh, look at that. Hitting the shot as he's falling down and draws the foul. Coach Boeheim's like, yeah, I like this. Yeah. Fired up. Syracuse in full control. Andy Robinson's been there for about 20 years. Syracuse now 6-0 against top 10 teams. They clinched the #1 seed in the Big East. How about the #1 ranking, Coach Boeheim?
College Station, a struggling Texas team against Texas A&M. The home team has won the last 12. History on the Aggies side. And show is Ray Turner. The feel-good there, Aggies up by 6. Second half, Texas coming back down 7. Dexter Pittman, just 6 points in 13 minutes. Texas within 5, but Najee Hibbert, the steal, and he misses, but David LeBeau follows, and rebounding a key. The Aggies never trailed in this one, 74-58. Serious moment here now. Late in this game, Texas guard Jacobin Brown went down hard after colliding into B.J. Holmes. Brown was carried out out in a stretcher and taken to a local hospital where he was later released with a neck strain. He's listed day to day. Holmes suffered an ankle injury.
The win at Georgetown helps. Austin Freeman not in the starting lineup for Georgetown, battling stomach flu. But the Irish without leading scorer Luke Herringody for the fourth straight game. Carlton Scott didn't care. He was doing his thing. Notre Dame goes up 7 late in the half. Chris Wright kicks it out to Jason Clark, who knocks down the tray. Georgetown just down 3, but in the second half, Georgetown trying to make a little run. Freeman for the layup. He had 5 points, 12 below his average, but Notre Dame too much. Ben Hansbrough, yeah, that's his big brother. Irish shot 71% in the second half. Hansbrough with 21. Big win for the Irish in their turning host, 78-64.
Number 7, West Virginia hosting Cincinnati. Bob Huggins 0-2 against his former team since taking over the Mountaineers. Second half, West Virginia down 6, and Devin Ebanks, second free throw missing. Dan Jennings is there. Mountaineers hustling on the boards in this one. They're within 4. They use a great run, 11-0 in this one to turn this game around. Kevin Jones from the wing. Jones, 10 points in the second half, finished with 15. Off glass. Mountaineers up by 6. Deontay Vaughn, deep 3 for the Bearcats. They're back in this within 4. Vaughn with 15, but Cincy looking to foul. West Virginia, they're going to break it. Darryl Bryant to Wellington Smith. West Virginia can earn a double bye in the Big East with a win over Georgetown on Monday, 74-68. They get the W.
WC, first place up for grabs with New Mexico visiting Provo, where the Cougars have won 21 straight. First matchup between top 15 teams in Mountain West history, and this one lived up to the hype. Michael Lloyd Jr. dunking it home. Lloyd, 19 points off the bench. We're tied at 80. Now, after the play, take a look at the top of the screen. BYU's Jonathan Tabanari and Darrington Hobson, they're getting into it a little bit. Not much, but a little bit there. Emory needs to restrain Tabanari, who he's clearly fired up. He's got his game face on. Refs talking over with the two coaches, saying, hey, let's work this out. Afterwards, Hobson extends the handshake. Tabanari says, I'm still in game mode, my man. I'm still ready to play. I'm not trying to hear it. Back to the game. Gary misses, but check out A.J. Hardiman. Gets the board and the putback. Lobos up by 2. Under 10 to play. BYU still down 2. Hobson had 20 and 14, but this, the biggest stat of his day. That block against Noah Hartsock. Look at it again. Cleanly. Goes up and get it. Preserves the win. Now, after the game, Tabanari gets into it with Lobos coach Steve Alford. 2 words. Anger management. New Mexico's first win in Provo in 10 years.
Senior day for Cal. The Golden Bears taking on Arizona State. A win for Cal would give them a share of the Pac-10, their first since 1960. Under 10 seconds to play in the first half. Jerome Randall hanging and hit. Cal down 1 at the break. Second half now. Markery Sanders-Friesen, the sweet dish to Patrick Christopher. Cal up 5. Then more from Sanders-Friesen, getting everyone involved. Jorge Gutierrez, circus shot, yeah. This started a run for the Bears, 12-2. They did not look back. Gutierrez on the drive, no look, everyone. The senior, Jamal Boykin, 14 points. The 50-year wait is over. Cal winning 62.
Easily, we got teams part of the last 4 in according to Joe Lunardi, so don't pop that bubble. Rhode Island, one of those teams taking on St. Bonnie and not looking good. Chris Matthews knocking down the 3, caps off a 14-zip St. Bonnie run. Then it's Ogo Adeboye drives and gets that lay in. Rhode Island has now lost 4 of their last 5. Wrong time to be losing right now. Mississippi State also, South Carolina. First half, South Carolina inbounding down 11. Jarvis Vernado taking it and throwing it down 2 hands just to be sure. Bulldogs up by 13. Second half, State up by 10. Barry Stewart under pressure, but gets it down low to Vernado with the layup. Vernado with 19 points. Bulldogs get a big win, 76-63. Loyola Marymount and St. Mary's. First half, Gales down by 3. Mickey McConnell. See me, 3 me. St. Mary's trail by 2 at the break. Second half, Gales up by 6. Shot clock winding down. Jordan Page. St. Mary's gets the win, 88-80.
Andy Kennedy and Ole Miss up against Alabama. Late in the second half, tied down 2. Charvez Davis, he had 19. Bama up 1. 35 seconds left. Tarico White from the wing, dropping the 3. He had 15. Ole Miss back up by 2. Then Tony Mitchell looking to tie it. 5 seconds to go, no good. The Rebels win 76-73. UMass and Dayton. Flyers need to win this one. First half, Chris Johnson Dayton up by 12 at the break. Second half, they were rolling on a 28-10 run. Mickey Perry with 15 points. Dayton winning big, 96-68. Charlotte, tough loss here against GW. Oh, boy. Charlotte was down by 9. They lose by 5 to the Colonials. Joe Lunardi on the winners and losers on the bubble. UConn. The Huskies 15-0 when scoring at least 70 points this season. Jerome Dyson and the UConn seniors being honored before the game. Late in the first half, UConn up by 7. Kemba Walker, access denied. The block shot, and Dyson gets the outlet pass. He had 13 points. Huskies up by 5 at the break. Less than 2 minutes left. UConn down 2. Dyson kicking it out to Walker. Drops the 3. He had a game-high 28. UConn up 1. Under a minute to go. We're tied. Dyson, sloppy basketball. Had 6 turnovers, 22 turnovers in all for the Huskies. So Edgar Sosa and Louisville with the ball, and he drives in the lane with 8 seconds to go. The reverse. Louisville up by 2. Now UConn doesn't use its final timeout. Walker going all the way. Samardo Samuels, the big block. And that's how it ends. It's Louisville winning 78-76. The Cardinals sweep UConn.
Hey, Kevin, we have another final second finish. Marquette and Seton Hall involved. Buzz Williams and the Golden Eagles looking to improve their resume as March approaches. Tie game. Darius Johnson-Odom, nice crossover. Drives in for the lay-in. All 5 Marquette starters scored in double figures. Marquette up 2. Next possession, Seton Hall, Jeremy Hazel. Gives himself a look. Hazel hits the floater. We're tied again. Final seconds, still tied. Lazar Haywood puts up the 3. This is going to be for the win, folks. Haywood, he had 23 points. Boy, he wished he had 26 there. Let's go to overtime. Under 30 seconds in overtime. Hazel hits the 3, and he's fouled. That was a tougher 3 to make. He'd complete that 4-point play. Seton Hall down 1, 19 points for Hazel. And here he puts up the 3 for the tie. In and out. Herb Pope lays in the rebound as time expires, and that's not going to make it. Marquette squeezes this one out by 1.
Great finish in the A-10. Richmond visiting Xavier. Both teams tied with Temple for the top spot in the conference. Second half, under a minute to go. Xavier up 1. Jason Love getting the rebound, and he puts it back in and 1. He would miss the free throw. Xavier up 3. Under 30 seconds left. Richmond down 3. David Gonzalez, 3 of his 18. We're tied. 5 seconds to go now. Xavier, the chance to win. Jordan Crawford can't penetrate. Forced to take the long 3, and he misses. So we're going to overtime, tied at 64. In the first OT, Spiders up by 2. Crawford driving. Shot rims out. Love is there for the tip-in. He had 16 points. We're tied at 70. 5 seconds left. First OT, still tied. Crawford, another chance. The jumper doesn't go in. Crawford, 19 points, but only 5 in the second half in overtime. We're tied at 70. Then 3 minutes left in the second OT. Terrell Holloway, fadeaway. Holloway got hot. 7 of his 24 points coming in the second OT. Justin Harper tries the up and under lay-in. It doesn't go for Richmond. Xavier wins 78-76. They've now won 31 straight in the conference at home. Michigan State without Robbie Hummel. Boilermakers have not beaten Michigan State twice in a season since 1997. There's Hummel, torn ACL, done for the year. Chris Kramer, twisting floater in the lane, gets fouled hard. Later in the first half, Purdue down 2. E'Twaun Moore to Keaton Grant. The feel-good there. Michigan State, though, working the boards up 2. Garrick Sherman, no. Raymar Morgan, no. Kalen Lucas, yes. Sparty up 4. Later in the first half, Kramer forcing the turnover, and Kramer with the easy dunk. He had 260th steal, setting a school record on that one. Second half, Michigan State extending its lead. Darrell Summers, the 3 from the wing. Sparty up 8. Purdue down 6, the big 3. Juwan Johnson, part of it, along with Moore. Well, they combined to shoot 7 for 27, but Purdue down 4. Draymond Green missing. How about the Spartans out-rebounding Purdue? 46-20. Green, 12 and 11 in this. Under a minute to play, Michigan State inbounding. Lucas starting the fast break. And Morgan Yeah, 16 and 11, fourth double-double this season. Michigan State wins 53-44. Purdue held to 16 points in the second half.
Frank Duke with a chance to sew up a #1 seed, perhaps with a win at Virginia. Coach K knows that. Virginia's leading scorer, Sylvan Landesberg, tried to give it a go, but a bruised right thigh kept him out of this one. John Shire finding Kyle Singler. Such a force. 15 points in the first half for Singler. Duke started the game on a 20-4 run. How about Singler? Finished with a team-high 21 points. Duke by 13. Let's go to the second half. 17-point Duke lead. John Shire putting the Blue Devils up 20. When you give them all day, for goodness sake, it's going to happen. Shire keeps it going, just dominating, leading this Duke Blue Devil team as Duke's D holding the Cavaliers to just 31% shooting.
Grade West Virginia, number 20 Georgetown. Senior night at West Virginia, Deshaun Butler getting some love before the game. Bob Huggins, and then getting some love from the Rock, knocking down the three. Butler, then off the Georgetown turnover. Mountaineers coming the other way. Darrell Bryant feeds Butler. You saw him outside. Young fella, inside. Stop it, really? And then Delta Bravo to Foxtrot Charlie, request permission to fire. Delta Bravo, you are green to fire. Butler, 12 points in the first half. West Virginia by 17 at recess. Second half, West Virginia pouring it on. Butler inside to Devin Ebanks. West Virginia by 25. Meanwhile, another tradition on senior night, the naming of the new Mountaineer mascot. This is Rebecca Durst, the 2009-2010 mascot. And here's how it goes down. Here's the tradition. Number one, Mountaineer mascot is a full-time grad or undergrad student.
Is that Rebecca with a beard?
Yeah, no, not yet. But listen, mascot first appeared 1936. Mountaineers selected each year by the Mountain Honorary, and the male Mountaineers customarily grow beards for their new role. Neil, I'm guessing women are allowed to grow one if they so choose. Okay, here's your new Mountaineer, Brock Burwell. His uncle was also the mascot at one point. Got his new rifle. He's celebrating. And what does his team do right after he's named? They let Georgetown go on a run. B. Sanford, money from the wing. Next possession, Sanford down the lane, hits the floater. Hoyles on a 7-0 run since the new mascot was named. They quickly fired Burwell and rehired Durst. I'm kidding about that. Burwell stayed on, and West Virginia got back to doing what they do. Butler in the baseline, pass deflected, right back to him. He had 22. West Virginia wins it by 13 on senior night. Texas down 4, but they just came out cold in the second half. Dexter Pittman misses a jumper. Damian James misses as well. They're going to get a bad turnover. Texas, the first team since Alabama in 2003 to reach #1 and then drop out of the AP rankings in the same season. Later second, Texas down 2. Oklahoma let them hang around. Damian James, alley. Dexter Pittman freaks the oop. Two seniors connecting on senior night. We're tied at 56. And then James drives, hangs, tough shot in the lane. Longhorns up 3. Later second, Pittman, young man doing work inside. He had 14 points. Later second, Brown finds James. Holler! James had 24 in his last game in Austin. Texas wins it 87-76.